Alright, I got a another Harugumo video here. Put a game up the other day where I did a 184K Kraken. I'm actually gonna skip through the beginning of this. That crazy puffing sound you hear in the back is my dog Fabuki. He apparently has his bone under a piece of furniture and is sniffed it out. Yeah. Welcome to my world. So anyways, Harugumo video. I think this is going to be the new boat that loves to be hated. I don't really care what people say. I don't really care what people say about this meta. I think this thing is fun. It's not easy to play. I've been torped, oh god, countless times. I probably had a couple handful of games where I literally did minimal damage or no damage. So anyways, we got smoke in front of us. I'm divisioned up with a Moskva and a Yamato. And we're going to try to take the sea cap. And for those familiar with Flamu's recent video on the Harugumo, where he talks about it and he talks about some of the numbers being seen, I think he's actually pretty spot on as far as, you know, the damage being high. I think you see this a lot in boats that are early released, because the early adopters are the guys that are pretty decent players. I'm not saying that's the case with me, but you know, I'm a big DD player. This isn't a I wouldn't say it's an easy boat to get. It's definitely a tad different play style. And just for the record, I am running Flamu's gunboat build on this. This is a dedicated gunboat Daka build, which I actually like. I think I mentioned it in my other video. I've probably played around with 6 or 7 captain builds since the retraining has been free. So just in the last few days, I've tried countless different configurations and iterations, and yeah, I came across this video. It was released yesterday. I checked it out, and I gave this thing a shot, and I gotta say, it's a I don't know that I would have came up with this build on my own. I've been going back and forth through some minor changes, but yeah, I don't know. I was playing it more as a concealment build, which he speaks to also. But yeah. Anyways, get some torps out. It appears the entire fleet has come to the sea cap, and this is going to get interesting. In my opinion, this is what this boat does good, especially in this configuration. So I've got a boatload of boats pushing in, and you know, I can kind of hang back behind the battleships or near the battleship and near the cruiser and just Daka. And as you see, I've already got 5 torp hits and 100,000 in damage. I literally just fired those torpedoes and fired a few shells. I mean, I only have 100 hits, which, you know, with this thing is a couple seconds of firing, literally. But yeah, the goal is to now get these guys. This was the second boat. Again, those torps were put into smoke. I didn't have even a specific target focus, so yeah, luck of the draw. But I'm not going to complain. We'll give this guy some Daka and see if we can get some dot on him with some fires. Our damage is up over 124,000. We're not even, what, 5 minutes into the game? Or we are a little over 5 minutes into the game. That's not a bad start. I can't say it's typical of my Harugumo play either. Although I've definitely been getting a better feel for the boat and what you can do and what you can't do. And one thing I don't think you can do is sit in smoke very long. Especially if there is any kind of torpedo DD within torpedo range. I mean, it's literally just suicide. Now I kind of screw up a little bit here, as does my division mate. I wasn't really conscious of where he was until a couple seconds before he ran into me and pushed me out of smoke. This is another thing that is kind of funny, because this has actually happened to me in a few games. If you play a battleship, stay the fuck out of my smoke. You have no business going in my smoke and pushing me out. I know he didn't mean this, but I've had this probably happen to me like 3 or 4 times. And in this boat in particular, it's almost a death sentence for you. I don't have great concealment. I was firing, didn't realize I was going to get pushed out. But I've played a couple of games now where DDs came in at like full speed, passing through my smoke, and basically pushed me out right into detection and right into enemy fire, or for that matter, the incoming rounds on the battleship hit you and do a ton of damage to you. And people are very conscious of their actions sometimes. So anyways, enough venting. I'm going to, I popped out of my smoke, I went full speed, I circled around, and put some more torps out and start the Daka Daka. And this boat definitely, in this build, has some Daka Daka to it. The funny thing is, the more damage I take, the more ridiculous it gets. And I honestly don't believe this is an overpowered boat. I believe, like other ships in the game, the Conqueror, and a few others, the Worcester, the Des Moines to a certain extent, the Minotaur, you can't let these ships just sit back and have a field day on you. And if you do, that's exactly what they're going to do. I mean, they're literally going to eat you up. This boat is a monster if left unchecked. So, yeah. And as you can see, the DD smoked up. He's playing really passive. He's hanging out in the background. He's not willing to push up. He's not willing to torp me. The Zhao is in reverse. The Des Moines and the Minotaur are so far back that none of their tools in their toolbox can actually affect me. I mean, look at this. This is a Minotaur at 15 kilometers. I probably could actually return fire and hit him probably more easily than he's going to hit me. I'm a big Minotaur player. I'm a big U.S. cruiser and DD player, so I'm used to these lofty shell arcs, and it's not impossible. That Daka Daka looks like it is coming from... What is that coming from? Gearing. But he's way too far out of the picture. And I know the Moskva here is probably keeping him at arm's reach or a distance. But it is what it is. So that torpedo's popped out and torped our Moskva, but they were able to actually finish him off. And then right behind him, a DD pops out finally. Low health gearing, rushing a radar cruiser. Good job. And he's able to finish him off. So at this point, I'm sitting on almost 200k damage. My division mate in the Moskva's got a couple kills. Our team's in pretty good shape. The guys that spawned, and we actually had another guy from our clan, one of our clan affiliates in the game. For anybody that's not familiar with 5D, there's 5D main clan, which is just 5D. Then there's 5D 2 through 7, and different levels of players and different levels of competition. As well as we actually have a clan that is dedicated to guys that are active duty and can't really play all the time and make a huge commitment. So that's kind of cool. I always appreciate that. I think some of the guys that maybe follow my channel, not that there's many of you, but know that I'm a veteran, and I used to play in the 214 clan, the DD 214 clan, which is run by a bunch of veterans. Seamus and his son. So yeah, it's kind of cool as far as my being a vet and appreciating guys that served or are currently serving. God bless them. I hope they come home safe and everything. So, anyways, another tour pit. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully finish off this Yamato. In my opinion, this game is kind of a perfect storm. Because if this group had pushed in early on aggressively, they probably would have steamrolled right through us. The guys that spawned at A, it took them a bit. The larger force was clearly over here. So the fact that we were able to hold those guys and kind of stifle their push into C and kind of scatter them as our forces from the A side came through B and then basically ended up on these guys' flank. Turned this game into literally a domination. Yeah, they don't all go like this. Ironically, sadly, I should say, we lose our Yamato, my division mate. But ironically, the games don't generally go like this. They don't usually go this smooth. These guys had a really strong team, stats-wise, compared to ours, and yeah, they played super passive and you know, pushed into ships that had a good defensive position. And the end result is me racking up some damage. And as you can see, I'm still sitting on 255,000 damage. And I hope to finish this Yamato off. I got enough health here where I know that I can survive a salvo. I think I can. And luckily for him, his rear guns come by and miss me. And also luckily for me, he chooses to switch over to HE. And I'm not saying that he can't dispatch me with just his front salvo, but he manages to do a tiny bit of damage and set me on fire. And I try to finish him off. But our full health Azumo, who came over from the A cap, ends up securing the kill. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate your effort there. So 273,000 damage. That's the third highest damage game I've ever had in a DD. 683 shell hits, 6 torpedo hits, witherer, high caliber, base XP of 2459. You can see the guys in my division are pretty far up on the food chain, as is the Minotaur, who had 3 kills, and the Fletcher, who also had a kill. So yeah, overall pretty good game. A lot of Daka, as you can see on this screen. 6 torpedo hits for 81,000. I did 84,000 in fires, 10,000 in flooding, and I fired 1,300 shells, almost a 50% hit rate. Obviously, the 3 BBs took the brunt of my damage, and yeah, great game. Very fun boat. Really kind of digging it. I wish all games were like this. That's not the case, and I wouldn't imply it is, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.